told her, I don't even like pastrami. Exactly. Me.
How you doing, everybody? And welcome to Dicey Decisions, where we roll dice, spin stories, and succeed at messing me up in my intro. Thank you, the both of you.
We have hard stances on deli meat.
It's a lot.
Salami. I like salami.
Oh.
Yeah, so we are back. We're back. We had a short we missed last week because Carly and I were out of town, but we are back. All is good. And we are going to, in order to make it up to you guys, we're going to be doubling up. We're going to be playing this Friday, today, and also going to be playing next Friday. So you get a double dose of Dicey Decisions. That's a lot of D's.
For the fans.
That's what she said.
Double D.
That's quadruple D. That's impossible.
That's painful.
I can imagine. The back problems just to begin with.
Triple D's are already bad enough.
I never understood why there's double D. Just go up to E. Why didn't they just...
I wonder that too. Oh well.
We have to do 3 D's before we get to the E.
Complexities of and arbitrariness, arbitrations of the fashion industry aside, we don't really have too much in the way of announcements. Eventually, I'd love to be announcing like, "Hey guys, we're gonna be at this convention. Come out and see us." But not quite yet because we can't afford conventions because we're poor. Someday.
We are rich in spirit.
Chances are, if like we were ever to really be at a convention, it's probably us paying for it and not being invited. So
Please let us in.
Well, the thing is, like, we could like host a panel and like do like a live play.
Oh man, I'd love that.
Because like all you got to do is just apply early enough, and they'll maybe give you some space, and you can just be like, hey, we're gonna do a live play, and like we'll come up with some way to make it fun and interactive with the audience, of course. But that's something to talk about over drinks some other time. Does anyone have any announcements? Because I'm zeroed out on that.
Don't get into ATV accidents in high school and then try to be Superman and lift really heavy things. People know you're not Superman, and then you make yourself look stupid, and then you hurt yourself, and don't do it.
We decided to put the microphone on my computer now.
Since hers is behaving better.
Yeah, so I'm hosting the audio now.
Oh, spectacular. I'll make sure to mute the kit just in case.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
I believe
It's just like Frozen.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, as long as we can hear each other, that's
as long
really
as I can hear Tiffany, that's all that matters.
You're sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, I think it's more important to hear Mike at this point.
Oh, true.
So, I guess without any further ado, unless you two said you wanted to make any announcements and I didn't hear it earlier.
No, I'm okay.
All right. Well, without any further ado, things are about to get dicey.
Ooh, no one can see it, but I'm doing.
You were almost too slow. All right. God, I love that intro. So, let me get some music actually up in here.
Up in here.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here.
Up in here. I heard a kitty cat.
I don't know that.
Let's do fuck it. I don't know how this sounds.
Just hear me in the background. Google.
There we go. So, last we left our story, 3 travelers, Helga, Soot, and Kat, and 2 musicians, Oran and Gurg, had all come to the city of Dagdaral, run by the Paladins of Justine, for what seems to be very similar reasons. After spending the earlier part of the morning speaking to Shieldmaster Kada Thundercall, she seemed to decide you were worth giving not 1, but 3 potential jobs. She gave you the option of investigating the Premetaire raids that are increasing in the west, several missing persons cases in the slums of the city, or a series of grave robbings that have been taking place. You find yourselves now standing in the Helix Pavilion, the main square of the city of Dagdaral, the great stone statue of a long-forgotten dwarven king dominating the large fountain at the center. A few people mill about, going about their morning business. The 3 of you stand together, the softly glowing eye of Justine hovering in the light blue sky above, the faint gold band of the Sky River arcing across the heavens. And with no more preamble, my friends, what are you doing?
No more preamble.
No more preamble!
Soot is...
Soot.
Soot is Soot.
I think we should start with the missing people.
Is that yes? Is it for yes?
It's Orin for yes. Sweet.
Undead.
Alright, so, where are you going? What you doing?
So it wants to do something with the undead.
Oh.
Experience. Soot.
So it wants to gain experience points. No, so it has you'll have experience dealing with the undeads.
Da.
Oh. I'm sorry, that's just like my personal reaction whenever Soot copies Helga, is just I immediately go into a ball of like, oh,
It's working.
yeah.
My plan is working. They have no idea.
Day 2, they have no idea.
Baby mode activated.
Okay, so missing persons, undead.
Other mission. Wait, what was the general's accent? Was it British or Scottish?
The Shield Master.
Yes.
She had a really, really thick, like, fake British accent.
Wow, fake. It's like she's not even from there.
That's crazy.
Like this whole world is made up.
Yeah.
She has a very northern accent, if that makes more sense.
So it repeats in her accent.
So
Yes.
it repeats what she said word for word about the undead people, and then makes a
Punches fist into palm.
yes, punches fist into palm.
Yeah, what she said about, basically she said that they have one pissed off graver, because you mentioned, oh, you had a reaper with you. Well, it's a shame they're not with you anymore, because we've got one ticked off graver, because there's been a bunch of grave robbings happening,
No, it's
and
not
everything.
necessarily undead.
Not that's so, her holy light,
Her holy light.
grave robbing.
Jesus Christ. Helga just like nods contemplatively. Yes.
He throws his hands up in the air. Fine, we'll go with the group. He said his piece in broken
So,
English.
well, I think it is important that we investigate this, and undead is not a good thing, and yes, I agree. I do think that we should focus on the people who might still be alive first.
Okay.
Cat has points. Okay.
I think that possibly still alive people would appreciate it, at the very least.
So cute.
All right. Let's get this show on the road.
All right, so do you all start heading towards the more or less slums of the city?
It's
All
a
right.
new dude, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to, as you all walk, I will have who's going to be heading this this kind of expedition to the southwest of the city.
I assume Cat. She seems the most.
Cat is our leader.
Cat is the smart go-getter. Not that Carly needs to speak, but yeah.
All right, so I'm going to need Katrina to roll a investigation check, please.
For a second, I was like, "Oh man, where's my dice?"
14.
All right, so that's perfectly fine. So you find your way through the streets of Dagdaral. More and more people seem to be coming out as the day really starts to get into its full swing. And you finally get to the high defensive wall that is around the main city. And the gates are open. And you pass through. And as you turn around to look, you see that there's a number of paladins stationed on the outside, either checking papers or just kind of generally keeping an eye out of just people coming and going. You don't see any that you necessarily recognize, but you do notice that there is quite a bit of them guarding the main wall of the city. However, before you is more or less a shanty town. It's a lot of wood and thatched roof houses, a lot of structures that seem to probably not weather most storms, if any. And if the clouds in the sky are any indication, there's probably going to be a number of these structures that will not be here tomorrow. A lot of lean-tos, a lot of temporary stalls, just people kind of calling out to each other. The road is no longer cobblestone, it's now just mud and dirt. Mostly dirt, but it must have drizzled a little bit last night, because there are some puddles, and there's some moisture in the air. So you are now kind of in the area, and you start I guess asking around, trying to see if you can get any information on the people going missing. And you eventually, I'll say with that 14 investigation roll, you eventually do stop someone who actually seems willing to give you the time of day. And they say, "Oh, I don't really know much about anyone going missing, but if you see a man named Hythan, he knows pretty much everything that goes on around here in the slums. If you have a bit of coin, at least."
So it makes a coin shaking in a bag noise. Clink, 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 clink.
That's cute.
Yeah. And the guy kind of points off around just towards a more crowded area, basically just indicates, that's probably the best place to look for the dude, and kind of stalks off, just going off to do his business for the day, whatever
Thank
it might
you.
be. He doesn't acknowledge.
Aww. Pat, pat. They're
Oh,
there.
Helga.
They're there, Slip.
Can I roll an investigation
Investigate.
To
to
well, what are you trying to accomplish? And then I'll tell you what to apply
I
to it.
want to know the people of the area, like how everyone's doing. Like
So
around.
How are you?
So that would be more of an insight check to kind of get your feel for everyone, and
That
so
would sound better.
yeah, because so you have a very high insight. Your passive insight is high enough that you can tell when most people are lying. So that's something for you to kind of keep on it. If you Tiff ever think that someone might be lying to you, you could say just to believe them.
Why would anyone lie to me?
Oh, Tiff.
Why would anyone lie to say? Wait, was that guy lying? Did he
Roll
seem
an insight check.
Was he an honest man? I rolled a 22.
Holy shit. Yeah, he seemed to be being truthful about there's a dude named Hythen who could probably give you information for coin. But I mean he just seemed like he just kind of had a hard life and just didn't really like talking to strangers.
Aww. I want to keep tabs on this guy. What? But yeah.
He's already gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He doesn't exist anymore.
He's gone.
Mike, how dare you take away this
Into the ether.
my potential father figure away from me? Joking. Hyphen. Coin.
Python.
So you yes, that's well.
Yeah.
So yeah, he had kind of gestured off to a kind of a more market place area. So I've given you guys the apple. You gotta just follow the apple. Follow the apple. Or throw the apple. Do whatever the fuck you want with the apple. I've given you an apple. Make apple juice.
I think you're thinking of the phrase "you threw us a bone."
I mean, throwing an apple means a wedding thing in Greek.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Means a wedding thing. That's very specific.
I could get very into it, but no one wants to listen to my mythology rambling.
Oh.
But
I always want to listen to your mythology rambling, but I think Michael might kill us.
yeah.
Let's go to the place.
Well, it's fine. I'm just taking notes of how many hit dice to add to the next monster you fight.
God.
We go to the place to find the Hythen and pay him for information.
All right, so
Yeah, go to the group to look for this Hythen.
Runs
Sure.
into the crowd. Hythen!
Yeah, actually, can I do that? Just like yell, Hythen! Hythen!
so the two of you are running into this crowded area and yelling, Hythen! Hythen!
Hythen!
I will have, I guess, the two of you can roll an investigation check with
I'm pretending like I don't know them.
excellent. So Katrina, roll a performance check. While Helga and Soot, you can roll 2 separate investigation checks, or one of you can roll an investigation check with advantage.
I have a 2 on investigation. What do you have on
What
investigation?
investigation? Oh, what my thing?
Yeah,
did?
what's-
Okay,
I would-
probably less than that, because
17 for my
I got
performance.
-1.
Okay, let's say.
I mean, we can both investigate.
Well, I mean, let me do it for like it with an advantage since I have a higher one.
Okay.
I have a 2. Okay, so 11.
So yeah, you two spend a couple of minutes while this armored mercenary from the south kind of watches you. They definitely don't know you. Anyone watching would not assume that they know that you are all traveling together. So that's
a bird person and a giant yelling.
Hythen! It's like we're playing Marco Polo.
Hythen.
hi, Thad.
Hythen.
Polo!
Yeah, you do that for a couple of minutes and eventually get tired, and you wander over to you wander over to Katrina, who has done a very good job of pretending that she doesn't know you.
No hyphen.
No hyphen. It's so cute. Why?
No hyphen. So tries his best.
Refresh my memory. Where did he say we could find Hythen again?
He pointed off in this direction, and as you start to look around, you hear this voice kind of off to the right around a bunch of boxes. So, are you looking for Hythen?
That sounds like a trap.
Stepping out from the stepping out from behind the boxes is this very thin-faced man with almost no nose, wearing a very long dark green kind of a raw wool cloak. It's very it looks very itchy, but very warm, and covers most of him. And he has this very wide, thin smile. He's like,
Would this
well,
be... Okay, you do your piece.
looks like you're in luck. I am Hythen.
Prove it.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Sure.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have advantage on. Let me turn that off. 18.
You still had advantage on.
Damn it, hold on. My bad. Oh, shit.
Oh man, you see what you do? The first roll you had.
So, what'd you roll?
I am not one.
He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I could.
Here, take my money.
Blessed be. Soot puts out his gun.
He does not reach out, and actually kind of looks at your dirty hand with distaste, which is kind of hypocritical, because he does not look like a very clean person. But, he looks at the rest of you. Well, I, couldn't help but notice that you were looking for me, so what can I do for you this fine day?
Master of insight there, aren't you?
Master of insight.
I've kind of got like a thing going, so I was like just trying to play along with that. Anyway,
do you know anything about the missing persons?
You know, a lot of things happen in this city. It's hard to keep it all straight.
Cut the bullshit, and I throw him a gold piece. What's going on with all the missing persons?
He looks at the gold piece and then looks at you. Go ahead and roll. I guess roll a persuasion check. Sure. Unless you were like trying to be intimidating.
I'm not trying to be intimidating.
Alright.
It's a 9.
Okay.
And then I say, look, we're willing to pay you. We're just trying to find information. We don't really have time for pretenses right now.
And I don't have time for people who are cheap.
I
Depends.
stare at him, and I'm gonna look him up and down.
Roll an insight check. I don't know. What are you trying to do?
30. Is he? What do his shoes look like?
Roll a perception check.
Meh.
You can't see them behind his cloak.
Is the cloak tattered? Is there holes in it?
Not particularly. It just seems like it's got like some mud caked around, like, you know, the bottom part where, you know, he'd be walking, but it looks worn. It looks old, but it doesn't look particularly ratty.
Helga will pass him another gold coin.
All right, he's
Depending on how good is the information.
he looks down at the 2 gold pieces in his hand now, and then like looks at all of you with like a seriously kind of look.
Well, do you have information for us or not? Depending on how good the information, you could get some more. pass him one more.
Da.
Stop giving him money until he says something.
What even is money? I don't get the point of these anyways. But it seems like the other people really want it.
The three of you don't really have a lot of experience greasing palms, do you?
I have got...
I do have experience with picky bastards trying to get more than they earn.
Guys, one at a time. One at a time. Please. I didn't hear any of that.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so Kit was saying blah, 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 blah.
I do have experience with picky bastards trying to get something for nothing. Either you give us some information or you don't get any more coins.
Alright, look. This is how this works. I am a good listener. I hear things. People don't necessarily tell me information, but I'm always willing to barter for information. So if you want to be stingy with your gold, why don't we just do a tit for tat? You give me some information and I'll give you, but you're not on the high ground here. You came to me.
I literally just told you that if you give us more information, I have more money.
You're not getting something for nothing.
Helga jingles her bag of coins. I have more money. Please tell us things.
You don't shake your money around in places like this.
I don't
Okay,
understand.
for all we know that this is some part of an elaborate scheme with your buddy on the street there, just trying to get coin, and then we get stabbed, and brah, you've gotten us. You're not getting anything if we don't get anything. We are trying to find out where these people are going because we personally don't like seeing dead people.
I will not let them stab me.
Okay, roll another persuasion check.
Me?
Sure. I was talking to Katrina, but sure, you can roll one too.
Is Helga persuasive? Let's find out. Not.
You guys with the nines today.
Really just doing great.
18.
Carly doubled it.
Yeah.
Okay, he has officially stopped listening to you, Helga.
I'm shaking money in his face. I'm like, just take it. I just want...
So puts his hands on like Helga's dice and like shakes his head back to her like no.
Oh no? Okay.
No.
Okay, so he kind of he looks at you, Katrina, looks you up and down, really sizes you up. Something about his eyes is just he's kind of, the way you've been talking to him, he's a pretty shitty guy, but he definitely seems to have a quick mind, and something about his facade kind of falls away a bit. He's like, "All right, look. You give me 100 gold, I can tell you exactly what happened to the family."
Let's go, guys. And I turn and I walk away.
All right, your loss. And he slinks back into the shadows with the 3 gold that you gave him.
Yeah, that's about what I figured. Con artist. Is there like a pub or something nearby?
You what?
Is there like a pub or something nearby?
You didn't see any in particular. You did hear the only one that you know kind of like in this area, which is the Durselbard. I'm sorry, no, the Bachbard, which is close to where the kind of the docks and the shipping area is. There's only like one bar in that area that you know of. Otherwise, you did pass kind of a seedy looking inn the way back on the way here, but you didn't really see any bars particularly.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Helga and Kit and put a hand on each of their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Turn to Helga and Kit. So Kat turns to Helga and to Helga's player.
To Helga and Soot. Sorry.
That was funny.
cat.
I turn to Helga and Soot, and I put like a hand on each of their shoulders, so I'm like reaching up really high and also reaching down kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be like, guys, when we're in a seedy area, you don't shout out the name of the person that we're looking for, and you don't shake your money around. Like, people like to lie to people, and people like to fuck with people. I like to fuck with people. I'm pretty good at it. We need to have just a little bit of stealth. Alright?
Okay.
People like to fuck?
That's right. People like to fuck. Some of them.
Okay.
I'm not entirely convinced that that was the person that we were looking for, or if it was just an opportunistic bastard. But either way, drunk people like to talk, so I think we should find a pub.
I like that you guys were like being super like diplomatic with him and everything. I totally expected you guys to like immediately start threatening him. So that was an interesting character choice.
Yeah, well, you know, I expected you guys to immediately start threatening the crabs that one time, and then Tiffany and Libby made friends with him.
I love crabs.
See, people suck, but crabs, they don't do nothing wrong.
Crabs are good people.
Crabs are good, but not on people.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Wise wisdom.
wise wisdom.
So, you guys are gonna go find a bar?
Yeah.
All right, so you
Bar.
spend some time walking through the slums, kind of just keeping your heads down. You do get a few strange looks, but eventually you do make your way, kind of following the high wall of the city around towards the river, to where the buildings start to get a little bit bigger. You see a few more warehouses actually stretching out almost onto the water, actually. You see there's a few floating warehouses with buoys strapped to the sides just to make more room. And you see most of this warehouse and docking and shipping district of the city. Most of it is floating, except for a partial shanty town on dry land, but most of it's mud and wooden planks and everything. And probably with the tide, they needed something a little more stable. So you're moving around until finally you see this one kind of rickety old driftwood building with smoke coming out of the chimney. It's about midday now. And a big sign over the top says "The Dragon's Flagon."
I feel like I'm really surprised I haven't heard that name before now.
You have, actually.
I have?
Yeah?
Where have I heard it?
It is the bar, and you remember this as you approach the door. You remember that this is the bar that Thedric said if you guys had some time to meet him there and have a drink or two.
Oh.
The flag. I'm
Well,
gonna type that down.
me, Kit, did not remember that name, because...
Helga would also not recognize that name since she can't read.
Oh, wow, look, some of those letters, some of those symbols on the sign are the same. I think I went, like, vaguely Irish there.
The Dragon's Flagon, Helga.
Dragon.
Oh, I see, it's rhyme. It rhymes. I've lost my accent completely. I don't know what the fuck.
Who needs an accent in this fantasy world?
Right? It's just, I started with it, so, like, I gotta follow through.
So it's following Cat's lead, which I assume is into the bar.
Into the bar.
There we go. I'm just gonna
Going
get...
into the bar?
Oh, I know. I should drink some vodka. That'll help me get in touch with my inner.
Let's just go nuts.
I'll go.
All right. So as you enter the bar, you swing the door open. A little bell over the top goes ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-ling, and it's a kind of it's a nice, warm, inviting area, or at least it would be if there was like more than one person there, because it's the middle of the day.
You would think in the seedy part of town that there would be like more people in the bar.
You passed out of the seedy part of town. You're now in like the basically the laborers part of the town.
Wow, we're just walking all over the place.
Yeah, it took you about an hour to get here.
Oh.
Well, I specifically meant I wanted a bar in the area. I wanted to stay in the area.
Oh, well, I mean, there weren't any.
Oh, no seedy bars. No dive bars? What kind of city is this?
Well, there's dive bars, but in a shanty town?
Oh, true, shantytown, yeah. That would be more like just people sitting in the front of their tents drinking.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
What?
I feel like
We
I
should have gone to
don't
them.
know what the word shanty means because I was just thinking of like a pirate town.
I just wanted drunk people.
And like houses made of recycled garbage.
Sorry, I should have been more specific. We can rewind.
Tiffany's privilege is showing through. Did not know that.
Oh, Tiff. So, rewind, and you're back in that kind of not really a square, but kind of like that more crowded area where people are just kind of moving back and forth between a bunch of portable temporary stalls. And you ask a couple of people, stop a couple of people, and they're like, yeah, there's not really any places to drink near here. The closest place is the Dragon's Flagon, which is about an hour's walk.
Wow, this is a big shanty town. Wait, Sid wants to, like, investigate anyone who seems trustworthy? Like, just sitting outside their shack?
Sure, make a general insight check as you walk. Sure. See if you can find someone that seems trustworthy.
Yeah, like if I can't find anyone, yeah, 26.
You see, as you're walking, there's one person who's kind of managing a stall. It's like a cart, and he's got like a donkey kind of just sitting there munching out of a feed bag next to it, and it's got like two wheels on it, and it's one of those things that you can just like hook up to your beast of burden and then just walk away with it.
Sid goes up to the donkey and makes a donkey noise.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Roll an animal handling check.
Yeah.
A 23.
It honks back at you in a pleasant manner.
Aww.
And the person at the stall, by the way, the stall is just cabbages.
My cabbages!
It's just cabbages.
Delightful cabbage man.
Oh.
You a surprisingly knowledgeable merchant of cabbages?
I don't know. You'll have to find out as soon as I find the NPC list, so I can give this fucker a name.
What do you mean? His name is Cabbage.
His name is not Cabbage.
Man.
It is a person with kind of a deep purple skin, mostly covered in wrappings, and a large straw hat, kind of askew. There are holes poked through the straw hat, so their curly horns can kind of pass through them. This is a deviling or a tiefling, and they turn these very, very light blue, naturally pupilless eyes towards you, and they say, "Well, old Jim seems to like you."
Oh, that's a donkey.
And it pats the donkey on the back. Yeah, that's old Jim.
Oh,
Old Jim.
Y'all want some cabbage?
I love cabbages.
So it looks to Cat and Helga. Cabbage?
It's a vegetable. It's good for you. Help you grow big and tall. Didn't help me grow big and tall, but that's beside the point.
Can I help you? Did you?
Yeah. Yes, we would like to buy 2 cabbages, please.
Sure thing. That's just gonna be a copper for the two of them.
Helga just like pumps her fist and is like, yes.
All right, I hand him the 2 copper pieces.
Hand him 2 copper pieces. He turns around and spends a good like 2 minutes like picking up cabbages and like squeezing them a bit. Kind of puts a couple off to the side, and then pulls out these 2 very, very, very nice round green fresh cabbages. He goes, "Here you go. Sorry, I don't have any bags left."
Thank you.
Puts it in the
While
bag.
we're here, have you happened to have heard anything about the people that have been missing? We're a little concerned.
Go ahead and roll a general charisma check. Or persuasion. I'll give you persuasion.
Can I make an insight check on this guy?
You already did. That's why you walked up to him.
Oh, bitch, I'm stupid. I thought I was making...
Do more insight.
I just don't trust him.
Be
That's
more
foul.
insightful.
Well, yeah, that is some pretty sorry news. A lot of us are, especially of my, horny persuasion.
Did you say
That's-
horny?
That's a little, yeah, that's a little joke that I like to make for the kids. They don't get it. That's what makes it funny.
Devilish?
Yes, a lot of us, devilings have been going missing lately. Actually, just a couple days ago, a whole family, I think their names were, Kanta, Kane, and their 2 kids. They went missing. They had just, it's a shame really, because Kane had just gotten a new job over by the docks, and he was really excited, and he said they were going to be moving out of the slums and getting a small place in the city once he got his first payment, and then they just weren't at their place the next day.
Oh.
So this isn't just people disappearing off the street. This is an entire family. This could possibly be something premeditated.
Potentially, that's why we've been going to our little community this side of the slums. Has been going to the Paladins, but they haven't. They said they don't have any really leads, and just people missing isn't there. There's nothing they can do if they don't have anything to follow up on.
Well, that's why we're here. We're here to find things to follow up on.
So it reaches out and taps his hand, like trying to put some ash on it.
Oh. Oh, weird bird.
He does the same for old Jim.
Old Jim seems to like it. The tiefling, they seem to they don't seem to react too much to it. They think they seem to think you're adorable.
Aww. So it's not suspicious anymore. He likes you. He likes... I am Soot. Name?
Well, it's nice to meet you, Soot. My name is Hero.
I love
Oh,
you. You are my hero.
Hello, Hero.
Yes, my parents thought that giving me a strong name would give me a lot of motivation and let me do great deeds with my life, and well, luckily we don't really talk much anymore.
Hero is a good boy.
Aww.
I prefer they them, if you don't mind.
Hero is good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
well, Hero, I think that you've done wonderful. You have a wonderful little cart here, and you're a very kind person, and that's harder than being some gilded paladin with a stick up their ass, so...
Bah.
Actually, you can't have met too much of them. They have entire spears up their asses.
So it makes
Did
sense.
some make a fucking air horn sound?
Shit reading.
Shit reading.
my god.
Oh my god.
I love you here.
But yeah, if you I'm not sure what more I can do to help you, but a lot of us are getting worried. At first it was just a couple of people going missing, and now it's a whole family in one night.
Would you be able to point us towards the place of work that Kane, you said?
Yes, Mr. Kane. He said he got a job over down in the warehouse district by the docks, but he didn't really specify where. It must have paid well, because he was talking big about, leaving the city, or leaving the slums at least, and moving into the city, maybe getting a place. I don't
Do you
know.
think someone might have been threatened by it? I don't see many of your persuasion in the city, and can't help but think that's not an accident.
Well, it's not necessarily illegal for us to be in the city. We do make people uncomfortable. I suppose it's probably just the unnatural skin tone. Most people aren't purple.
Racist.
He was very clearly being sarcastic. It's definitely the horns. And maybe the eyes. Sorry, just I tend to use humor when I'm uncomfortable. More or less, it's not illegal for us to be in the city, just we're not usually afforded the opportunities to afford to live in the city, if you catch my drift.
Systematic racism.
Yeah, that.
Da. Other deviling?
Most of us are kind of either keep to ourselves or watch out for each other. At least in this part of the slums, we kind of stick together. It's me, Kane, Kanta, and a couple other families. But most of them have kind of started to shut themselves in after the four of them went missing. It's only a couple days ago too, so we're still holding out hope that we'll find him
Thena will guide
alive.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you for purchasing some cabbages.
I love cabbages.
Thank you.
Personally, never had cabbage.
Cabbage good. Cabbage good.
Wait, wasn't Kat the one explaining to Soot what cabbage was?
Yeah, just hasn't had it herself.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair, I guess.
So just let's Cat do that. I mean, like, cabbage is cabbage.
Cabbage is cabbage.
So does Soot. Cabbage is cabbage.
Cabbage is cabbage. So is Soot. Helga likes cabbage, and Helga likes.
It all comes full circle.
Hold on, I'm making a conspiracy theory board.
It's all coming together now.
It all makes sense now.
And the star has something to do with it.
So, what are you doing?
Star's actually made of cabbage.
The star was a cabbage.
Oh shit!
My cabbage.
Guys, don't spoil it.
We cracked it. We cracked the whole
You
thing.
ruined your.
I've connected the dots.
You read all my notes, didn't you? Yeah, so what you doing?
Blessed be hero. Blessed be
You're
Big
my
Jim.
you're my hero.
Old Jim.
Well, that's very sweet of you. You all have a good one. Say bye now, Jim. Jim doesn't do anything.
So it's like just petting him. He loves.
He's shy around new people.
Oh. Wait, did we get any information? I got obsessed with the donkey and the cabbage.
Yes, we got
Yeah.
a good amount of information.
So it pulls this.
Curly needs to pee.
Girlie needs to pee.
Carly needs to go run pee.
Go pee. We'll stall.
I'll be back.
Wait, I have a question, Mike. Is Oran and Gerg with us, or are they still off somewhere?
They want to go find friend.
They went to go find friend.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah.
I have like a thing I want to discuss as such, so I'm gonna wait for like Carly to come back.
Okay, sure. But while we're waiting, this campaign is powered by Roll20. We are using Roll20's interface to make all of this beautiful visual stuff happen. You can get an account free today. And stuff.
Whole system that helps me roll things.
That's 20-sided dice.
Without the actual die.
That's why they call it Roll20.
Yeah.
Way to go, kid.
I knew that. I'm just goofing.
Hold on, I can't hear you. I'm getting a drink.
Give me one too.
I restocked my mini fridge.
Oh, Tiffany, stop rubbing your
I
eyes.
rubbed my eye on a headset eagerly. Oh, this is a mistake.
Oh my gosh, go wash your eye.
I guess
Hold
I'm
on,
taking a
Tiffany
break.
needs to wash her eye out, and I'm gonna get her a Claritin.
Okay, I guess this is as good a time as any for us to go on a 5-minute break, so...
Sorry, audience.
I guess we're going on a break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, starting now! And we're back! Thank you all for waiting. Nobody is dying anymore. Everyone has emptied their bowels. And we're good to go.
We're still waiting on that dying bit, but we'll see.
Tiffany's hopefully she's gonna live. If not, the role of soot will be taken over by Eggnog. Just instead of all of the weird mimicking, there's just
It's just mimicking Crumpet.
mimicking a cat. I don't know. Crumpet's more like meow.
You have to reconnect, dear.
Meow. Bro. Scusi.
What are we doing?
I don't know, what are you doing?
I was asking Tiffany.
Oh.
What are we doing?
We're playing D&D.
Thanks. Wait, can I not hear Mike anymore?
No, Mike is here.
Okay, am I audible again?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, Mike is just waiting with Carly.
I knocked my microphone over, somehow managed to turn my laptop onto airplane mode.
How the fuck?
I don't know.
It's fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. It's fine.
Fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm fine.
I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine.
So,
I'm totally lost.
Sight pulls aside Kat and Helga. Oran and Gerg.
You want to talk with Aura and Ingrid?
Oran and Gerg friend. At Doc? Doc. Kane. Doc.
Soot, since you have your keen mind feat, you would remember that,
Did they say the friend's name?
yes, that Artur, you would remember that, the dude at the bookshop said that Artur had moved to the Shine Bard, after making it big.
Ooh.
Oh, so he's not at the dock anymore? I swore that guy was... He mentioned something of meeting him at the dock.
I thought it was she. Artur.
Artur uses she/her pronouns.
Yeah.
I swear they mentioned she was at the dock. Okay, I guess I'm wrong then.
She did a lot of work with the shipping industry, is probably what you're thinking of. But that's just her business. That's not where she lives.
Dock. Oran and Gerg, dock.
Yikes.
Tiffany!
Oh my god.
Being stupid. I'm gonna write this
Do I need to beat her up?
No.
I'm clever.
Fight you.
So, I mean, you guys don't even know if Gurk still can do that. No.
Oh my gosh. TMI about my dad.
I don't want to know about my dad having gay sex, okay? They love each other and it's beautiful and pure.
Yeah, their docking is beautiful and pure.
You seriously killing me right now?
Our thing is like
Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? What's going on?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Rocks fall. Everyone dies. Roll new characters.
No.
Good night.
Don't punish us for my sin. Okay, I'll go back to in character. Oran and Gurg.
Yep, we said that.
Doc?
They're not at the docks, right? Where are they? Where did they say they were going?
They said they were going to go visit Artur.
Okay.
We should still go to the dock.
Yeah, we should definitely make our way to. Was it the warehouses or the docks? Is where the cabbage merchant said that Kane was.
The warehouses are by the docks.
Hero said that they were Kane got a job at just in the warehouse district, so in the warehouses, but did not seem to remember or specify where.
Okay. So we should definitely head there. We should head down to the warehouse district and see if we can find anyone who knew Kane.
Da.
Bah.
All right.
Let's head towards the warehouse.
So, pseudo fast forward, an hour later, you guys are walking through the. It's now closer to midday. You're walking through the main kind of section of the docks. You can smell the brackish water. It's low tide. It's not brackish water, but you smell low tide. And with a river this big, low tide can stretch for quite a ways. So you're walking on planks of wood that have kind of been stretched, and they have supports so that water will flow under them when it's high tide, but currently there's like a good 10 feet under you before it hits mud. And all of these buildings are supported, and you can see off in the distance there's some floating ones, and it's a lot of bigger buildings for storage, and there's people moving around, a lot of sailors. You see a lot of Dragonborn, actually. You see a lot of Dragonborn, you see a lot of tieflings, a couple dwarves, a couple humans, but it is definitely a far more diverse group of workers out here, manual laborers, just carrying boxes, large sacks of materials, and they're just moving back and forth, with everything kind of shutting down for the festival, on the 12th, which was, yesterday. You guys can see, everyone's kind of rushing to get back on schedule, get everything going. So, you are standing in the middle of this network of ant-like bustling.
Okay, cool.
Does Sut see any bushel group of tiefling people?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, because that's what he's looking out for.
Huddle.
A 10. Okay.
A 10?
Yeah.
All right. It takes you a bit, but you do see about 3 what looks like tiefling workers. Again, mostly in wrappings, but not as tightly wrapped. It seems to be more of less of a covering up kind of thing, and more of a just it's kind of like their chosen style. They seem to be wearing more of a leather tunics and cotton breeches and heavy boots. They seem to be the ones who seem to be working here are definitely a little more well off than the people you met in these slums. But you walk toward these tieflings, and one of them does have an eye patch, and turns to you. Oi, mates! Look at this.
Look at this. Wow. Cat.
That is strange. And sees Katrina and Helga. Are you following Soot?
Yes.
This one with the eye patch looks up at the two of you. Oi, this yours? You're with a circus or something?
No, why do you say?
No reason. What can I do you for?
Yes, we were looking for information on a gentleman named Kane.
Kane. You heard of a Kane? Let me see. It turns to the other people in his group, and
He was supposed to be beginning work in the warehouse district soon.
Yeah. Right. One of the other guys. This one who has very curly horns that kind of go up into the side a bit. Kind of pushes forward a younger appearing tiefling, probably around like 19. Yeah. I remember Kane. He was about to start working just on the floating side of the docks. He came in from the slums, but he hasn't been showing up. Something wrong?
He's missing.
That's been happening a lot lately. We've had a lot of workers, a lot of turnover lately. A lot of new workers, and then they just disappear.
Someone does not like their company?
You see Kane win?
I mean, I didn't like see him, but I knew of him. Like they were talking about him out over at the Flagon. Just part of the gossip. Like, hey, new slum worker came in. Wonder how long this one's gonna last, kind of thing. And it was a joke then, but that's awful.
How this one's going to last?
Like how long was it going to be until he went missing? Like a few others had gone.
That's morbid.
Yeah, a lot of more. It's tough times, morbid humor. Like,
I don't get it.
Bad.
anyway, yeah, I don't know much more than that.
So it's just bad.
Bad.
Now, the people who have gone missing, they were all from the slums.
As far as I know, yeah. At least that's the
And all
gossip.
And all tiefling.
Yeah.
Paladins of Justine do anything.
Well, here's the thing, and he leans in, and the other two kind of lean in as well, conspiratorially.
Unless.
Yeah.
Unless. Well, here's the thing, the paladins are more or less in the council's pocket, and the council owns about half the docks. So if anyone's going missing and the paladins aren't doing anything about it, I think that the council
Then
has
what
something
do
out
you
for
think?
people. What?
If they're meant to be missing.
Perhaps.
She's reading.
She's reading indeed. No, she's reading.
So Soot pats the closest tiefling. Stay safe.
Katrina, go ahead and roll an insight check.
What the
Just
hell?
1 second.
Fuck Justine.
Don't say that too loud in this town.
Soot is absolutely going to
Certainly.
sit with.
So Tiff.
That is a 10.
You don't think that these guys are fucking with you, but the way that they're kind of like leaning in, they definitely seem to be like enjoying like gossiping and coming up with conspiracy theories. Like you have no idea if they're if
they're
what
not
they're
taking it seriously.
No, they're not.
Justine is corrupt, and so is capitalism. They are absolutely right. So does like 100% with whatever they're talking about.
Yeah, of course. It all makes sense now.
He's connecting the strings. It's all coming together.
I've connected the dots.
Oh boy.
The star is a cabbage.
The stars and cabbage.
The government hates devils.
All Jim was saying all along.
Fana's cabbage.
No, old Jim is Fana.
Fana. Oh, gotcha. Yep.
Criminy.
And this is why you must show kindness to all of God's creatures.
Oh my god, it's like when Jesus was the beggar man.
I was thinking more like when
No,
Zeus
wait.
would ever like flex with people.
No, you're right.
As you guys are having this non-existent conversation, a couple of dragonborns and like 3 humans all call out to the tieflings, kind of like wave them over, and they're like, they're like starting to like pick up some objects, and it looks like these tieflings' break is more or less over. They're like, all right, nice talking with you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks.
Deal.
Oh, yeah, egg.
It's unjust.
It's
a bro.
I wanna.
Okay, so that's some interesting food for thought.
Da. Missing people, missing dibbling. Not good.
No.
I wanna. Mike, can I look around for anyone who seems like they're in charge?
Sure.
Missing.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
if it means anything, I rolled a 13.
Well, it's not really much of an insight thing, more of a perception check to see if anyone looks kind of in charge. So go ahead and roll a perception check if you want to.
Perception's like general, and insight is
Yeah.
people themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, getting better.
Yeah, insight's more of getting a feel for people. All right, about the same roll. So you look around, Soot, and you see, a couple of blocks down. This is like as you all are kind of wandering around. You do see a couple more paladins. They seem to not necessarily be like a heavy presence here outside of the city, but they do seem to be like at least walking around in pairs and keeping the peace more or less. You do see, however, some familiar looking furs, and you recognize Theodric down the way, entering a large establishment with a deja vu-esque sign that reads "The Dragon's Flagon."
I think we should go meet up with him.
Oh, deja vu.
Yeah. Nah.
Flagon Brian.
I guess we should go back to the flagging dragon.
It's actually
Or-
the dragon's flagon.
Flagging
And just
dragon.
being obnoxious.
Flagging Maggie.
Alright, mate.
Alright. Wait, did Soot... I don't remember. Did he meet Theodron? Or was that only Cat?
All of you have met Theodric.
Mm-hmm.
Trick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you are
Yeah,
taking notes, that's Thiedric. Theodric.
Okay.
The dick?
And the dick.
You could get the no.
Clean up who's getting dick in this family. I don't want that to be answered. Just leave that as it was.
Yeah, so I think we should go meet up with him and see maybe if he knows anything else.
Yeah.
So you all enter the Dragon's Flagon, and again, it's about 1 in the afternoon, ish. Soot, you would know that it's about exactly 1 in the afternoon because of your fucking feet, bane of all DM's existence.
Your feet? What? Oh, feet. Okay.
Yeah, Soot's keen mind feet. Soot always knows which way is north. Soot always knows how many hours till sunset or sunrise. And Soot can recall anything that he has heard within like a last month. It's fucking absurd.
Ah, tits.
He's a smart little boy. He just can't talk about it.
Encyclopedia.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
You okay, babe?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's a little afternoon. It's an hour or so afternoon, and you all enter, and you see Theodric sitting at the bar, kind of conversing with this large half-orc woman, really huge and brawny. These braided pigtails that kind of come forward over her shoulder. Very, very tight-fitting. Maybe it was like once purple, but now it's kind of faded lavender. T-shirt. The arms seem to have been artfully ripped off because fuck sleeves. And and the two of them seem to be just conversing back and forth, kind of quietly. There's a what looks like a very intoxicated dwarf over in the corner, kind of staring into his mug. There's a hearth that hasn't been lit. But it looks like it looks like someone's getting maybe like a kind of a young kid, maybe like 14, wearing an apron, is like stoking at the coals, like probably looking like they're about to start it. As you all hear outside the first rolling of thunder.
Oh.
It's still a ways off, but storm's coming.
Sid goes up to Theodrin and hello.
Fuck, what was his voice? It was God damn it, I keep forgetting he was fucking Patrick Warburton. Oh hey, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So how's your day going? You get started any of those jobs that Kata gave to you, or are you just relaxing?
Cat kind of just flops down into the chair next to him. This city's racist.
Nah.
Hey, look at that. It only took you 2 days.
So also tries to sit on the chair, but like he's half of everyone's size, so it's like only his eyes.
I mean, to be fair, parading the dragon's head around the center of town, a little bit of a kind of dead giveaway there.
Yeah.
My friends.
I mean, you can't tell them that, because to them it's history. It's a great victory, regardless of what it means for literally anyone else.
Today.
Right, you tell them, Theodric, the half-orc woman. Now, who's this lot?
I am Hilga.
I am so.
Cat.
Nice to meet you all. You, are these two old enough to drink? I fucked up. Are these two old enough to drink? There we go.
Nice.
That's better.
What's the legal drinking age?
Old enough to reach the bar.
Soot.
Cat kind of.
Did you ask that out loud, or?
No, I'm asking. Cat has done quite a bit of drinking, but I'm not sure given what the drinking age is.
There's no really underage drinking laws, but like
is your guardian cool?
It's pretty much, yeah, if your guardian's cool with it.
Or are you technically an adult?
It's more like, are you old enough to handle any kind of alcohol? Looks at the two child-sized people.
Do you have anything imported?
Oh, not really. We have Well, we did just get a shipment in from Gelderbril. Well, that stuff goes fast. You want some of that? It's a whiskey.
I love whiskey.
Spectacular. Well, for Gelderbril whiskey, it's gonna be 3 copper a flagon.
All right, flagon for me. Helga, would you like some?
2.
2.
All right.
All right. And then some for our friend Theodric here.
I
Are you
appreciate it.
drinking? It's a day off, right?
Yeah, it's my day off. What the fuck was that voice? Oh, you're making fun of me again. No, I'm not. I promise. No.
Mike has a conversation with himself.
Yeah.
And then one for him as well.
All
And then
right.
I looked down at Soot. Soot, if I give you a drink, are you going to be?
Little milk for the little one.
Such
Wait.
an adult.
Birds drink milk.
Can birds drink milk? Quick fantasy Google. Can birds drink milk?
Soot can drink milk.
Yeah.
Doesn't really get any nutrition from it, but yes, he can drink milk.
Soot is an adult. Soot says this, by the way.
Okay. Alright, I'll take your word for it. And then the half-orc kind of leans in towards Katrina, and like kind of like stage whispers, but like you all can totally hear it. Do you still want me to get the milk?
No.
Maybe something a little bit lighter for our friend here.
I got some nicer brews, maybe a light beer or something.
Light
Sounds great. Put it in the same cup, though, please.
All right. And then she leaves and she comes back with a couple of minutes later with some big flagons. And let me see, that was 3 whiskeys and 4 whiskeys, 4 big tankards of whiskey, and 1 tankard of just regular mead, which is going to be like a light mead. So that'll be like, all right, that's gonna be 13 copper for the lot.
All right, I pass it over.
Thank you. I'm Kvatia. Thadric here is one of my regulars, so if you're friends of his, you're friends of mine. Welcome to the Dragon's Flagon.
Digging the name. Is it meant to be like ironic or?
She points up and there is a shield hung from the wall, but it's a massive shield about like 20 feet, and it's kind of like hung at an angle to the ceiling and the wall above the bar, and it is just fashioned with black dragon scales.
Feels like home. Anyway, we've been doing some inquiries around about the missing people.
Alright, I've heard a little bit about that. Thadric, you hear any news about that? Are they sending anyone to do any work for that? No, they're not having us do anything about it.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of confidence in the paladins doing anything about it.
Well, anything that happens outside the wall is not really gonna be much of their business. They only care about the rich folks that live inside the walls.
What a surprise.
Oh, there's no word losses.
Except for Thadric here, of course. Thadric cares about us all, don't you, sweetheart?
Aww.
Egypt's a good noodle.
Good boy.
You swear he blushes just a little bit at being called sweetheart.
Aww.
Aw.
Yes, you're very sweet, Kvatia. I would do anything for you. I need more alcohol, please. I'll get you another one.
Oh.
She's clearly fucking with him.
Don't mind me, I like to mess with Theodric. He's just a little softy. He cares about all living things.
Theodric, good.
People are people, you know, is how it is.
Oh yeah, people are people.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a bad sort of philosophy to go off of.
Oh, not at all. Theodric's one of the nicest and best men that I've ever met, and I am proud to call him a friend. But
You do seem
you know, just the what's the word? The wordiness, the loftiness of his ideals sadly do not match the loftiness of the ideals of literally anyone else in this city.
I wouldn't really call basic rights lofty ideals, but go off, I guess.
I like this one. It's a shame. Were you at the festival yesterday?
Yeah, we saw.
Well, I was going to ask if you were at the festival. I would have liked to have you in the arm wrestling tournament. You're looking at the 3-year champion.
And she flexes her muscles.
You got some spunk. I'm sure you would have given me a run.
I'll have a go at it right now.
Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm not really warmed up.
She like slams her elbow on the fucking bar.
Cat laughs, takes a really big drink.
You see Theodric like scoots about 5 feet to the left away from this, just in case. You grip hands, and I guess we're gonna do a contested strength check.
So it makes like the wrestler ding ding noise.
Oh my god.
So you two flex your arms and make that first strength check.
Okay, just 1 second. Just scrolling up. I bet you it's gonna be balls. 22.
Oh shit. So right off the bat, she clearly did not think that this tiny person was gonna do anything. But her hand gets pushed back, but she holds it right at the bar, and like you could feel her arm shaking. Go ahead and roll another one.
Cat winks and blows her a kiss.
Ooh.
All right.
Yay.
Alright, you got a bit more spunk in you than I thought.
You know where I come from. Spunk doesn't mean what I think you think it means. 19.
Well, she rolled a natural 20.
It's gonna take a little more than that.
And she pushes you back to middle, a little more at a 45-degree angle. Your disadvantage. She's pushing back.
Alright, I guess I had my little warm-up. Let's just have a drink after this, shall we, sweetheart?
Ooh.
Roll one more.
Of course, darling. Oh, 10.
And crack! The back of your hand smacks the bar. And she like puts her arms up to no applause, and then she like kind of puts her hands over her mouth and goes,
Kavadia!
Cat laughs and claps and was like, well done.
Helga whoops and goes, my turn!
Alright, let's do it!
and then Theodore kind of butts in like, guys, don't you have like an investigation you're working on? Who am I
We're having
kidding?
a break. This city sucks.
Who am I kidding? And he like sits back and like kind of scratches Soot in the head and takes another swig as he's just watching this now. He seems to be a lot more intrigued in how Helga's gonna be doing. So
For the people at home, Kat has a higher strength score than Helga.
they know your stats show up on the screen.
Boo.
cat beefy as fuck.
She beefy.
So yeah, Helga, you clasp hands, and she seems to be nicely warmed up now, and she's like got this like wicked smile on. She's like, "All right, let's see what you got." Wham!
Oh nope, that's a nat one.
You are already like you are completely surprised by this sudden amount of strength from this lady, and you're already like you're hovering right at the edge. You're gonna have to win this next one to not lose.
I was surprised that wasn't an automatic loss.
And that one is that one's a nat 20.
Jesus fuck.
Oh my.
Gosh.
So I'm gonna take a picture of this just so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting you.
Did you also roll a nat 20?
No, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, Jesus.
So right off the get-go, she gets you right on the edge, and then like your hands freeze there, and then slowly come back to middle, and then without even stopping, all the way to 45, and then you smack her hand down on the bar, and you like you almost hear you think you hear something pop, and she's like, "Oh, well, all right. Now I'm kind of glad you weren't at the festival."
Helga gets up and goes,
All right, just for that.
And she goes back and comes back with another flagon for you.
There you go.
for me.
It's on the house.
Helga just take the third drink and start drinking it. I have no idea how much she's had to drink. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, and then Kavadia just kind of leans over the bar and just continues chit-chatting with Theodric for a bit. Just mutual, just basically just about like just mutual like comings and goings, and like people that you don't know the names of that they seem to mutually know. Just kind of shooting the shit.
Nice.
But Helga, you do notice, even with how low your passive perception is, that Theodric is watching you the whole time.
Watching me?
Yeah.
Why is he watching me?
Because he's also from the
Oh yeah.
Frostburn.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I
But
didn't
he
know
denied
that.
it.
Yeah, he denied it.
Okay.
This happened before we met, so
Hey, okay, Sid is none the wiser. He is patting Friedrich's hand and drinking his wheat and is very drunk because he's a small bird.
yeah. Helga's just sitting there listening and like also eyeing Theodric.
Yes, so I'd make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, buddy. 13. Right
You're
on.
not drunk, but you're tipsy.
Theodric or Theodrin? You kept saying it.
It's Theodric with a K.
I was right.
Theodric.
Theodric.
Mm-hmm.
Theodric.
So, unless there's, did you guys want to talk about anything else, or are you just gonna sit there, kind of nurse your drinks?
Theodric.
Cat kind of like takes another big gulp and like leans forward and is like, I'm very curious, Theodric. You don't seem to entirely agree with the way that the Paladins of Justine do things, and I know you're not from here. What compelled you to join them?
He kind of sips his drink and looks at you curiously. It's a strange question. Or at least the latter half of it. Yeah, I've always had a bit of a, what I guess some people consider to be kind of an an idealist nature, but I mean, everything that I was taught about Justine and what her teachings are is supposed to be justice and equality and protecting people, and that isn't what at least higher ups seem to want, and I guess my only hope is to try and fix it by getting as high up as I can. Although, I guess my, that's why I try not to be too vocal about, my idealism, I guess, because, it seems to turn some people off.
Yeah, that's always been a problem of mine. I'm a bit mouthy, if you haven't noticed.
I had not. But as for the not being from here, yeah, I know that I'm, pretty light for the region, and, I was brought up by the paladins in basically a youth care kind of thing. I didn't know my parents. So yeah, I'm not from around here, but it's all I've ever known is Dagduria.
Apologies, that definitely came out racist.
So what are you?
Trust me, you're not the first. You won't be the last.
Be a jerk.
What did you say that your last name was again?
Shieldheart?
And
it's my given name. I was brought up in the Shieldheart foster care.
I see. And that was run by the Paladins of Justine.
Correct.
So you were raised by this group, probably groomed to join them.
Mm-hmm.
And no one had the foresight not to name you Shieldheart. So if you become a Shield Master, you'll be Shield Master Shieldheart. Was that a deliberate bit of hazing, or is that just a happy accident?
Well, like I said, and you can see, he is trying so hard to keep a straight face as Kavatia is fucking losing it.
Just
like I said, I was raised in the Shieldheart foster home, so we were all given the surname Shieldheart. So I guess it was an oversight on someone's part. I'm hoping I can skip that part of my job and maybe get a double promotion.
You got to be really good for that.
Well, at least no one was deliberately fucking with you then.
Well, I mean, if I become an overseer, I would definitely believe someone's fucking with me.
So you don't seem to think that your hopes for promotion are very high?
It's really hard to become a captain, even harder to become shield master, and nearly impossible to become an overseer, because the only reason I would get promoted is if there was a position open, and we're not at war currently.
Cat cracks her knuckles. Alright, who do I have to kill?
Careful making those jokes in the city. People take those seriously. No, I'm willing to bide my time. Eventually an overseer will get old and just decide to retire, and maybe they'll like me enough to fill the spot. Excuse me.
Oh, you do good.
Now, what do you know about the missing persons?
I know it's devilings. I know that it's people who lived in the slums
And moved out of the slums.
What do you know?
I know that there was an individual that was excitedly talking about a new job and that he was going to be moving his family upwards, and then the whole family went missing shortly thereafter. I know that it's common enough that the dock workers can joke about it. I know that there seems to be very little faith in the paladins of doing anything, and people seem to be resigned to it. I think there's obviously something that's going on, that there's some deliberate negligence that's happening.
So
I don't know where the impetus lies.
So like stage starts conspiracy.
I didn't have that. What was that?
Conspiracy.
Gotcha. Tits.
Theodric kind of is listening to this, and something in his face kind of sets, and he finishes his drink and slaps a tip, pretty hefty tip on the table. Says, "All right, Kavacha. Sorry to cut our hangout short, but I guess my day off isn't going to be much of a day off. Come on, you three. I know someone who might be able to get us some information."
Hooray!
Yes.
That Python guy, right?
Theodric!
I take the money and put it back in Theodric's pocket and ask how much it is. You're not paying for your drinks on your day off when you come and help us.
All right.
Weird.
He seems a little put off because he had tried to do like a cool thing,
Like it just
and you're just like, no.
That just mom friended that so hard.
You did mom friend that so hard.
Oh, honey,
How much do I owe you? I'd say to the what's her name?
Kavacha.
Kavacha.
She waves it off. She's like, don't worry about it. You all have a good time. Have fun storming the castle.
Thank you!
Cat throws a gold on the counter and then just like eats out.
All right. Ooh. You hear as the door closes behind you. And you're back out in the streets. So of course the sounds of medieval town would get louder because you're outside now. And Theodric kind of leads you back a familiar course towards the slums. As you all are walking, you do feel a couple of plink plink raindrops hit your head and bounce off of Katrina's armor, making a solid little plink plink sound. As I
Who's in armor again?
Katrina's in armor. Katrina's wearing heavy armor.
Yeah, I changed. I wasn't doing that shit again.
Yeah, Katrina's fucking decked out in the armor of a southern knight, with the bronze and the purple. It's epic. So yeah, you all are walk for another hour. As you walk, Theodric just kind of seems to be just set and kind of seems to be rehearsing something in his head, and lo and behold, you find yourself standing in that exact same not as crowded area. People seem to be leaving because of the impending rain, but Theodric kind of disappears from your sight for a moment, and go ahead and roll a perception check, everyone.
I swear to Christ, if he's going to get that twat waffle, that would be a natural one.
A natural one.
Oh my.
Oh, that wasn't me. It was an 18 for me. We clicked at the same time.
Delightful.
7.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Mine was an 18.
okay, so Helga and Soot, you are mesmerized by the rain for some reason. But Katrina, you do see off by a stack of crates. You think you see what looks like somebody hovering until you kind of step a little closer and you realize it is Theodric holding a gentleman up against the wall and seems to be just speaking to him in a very casual manner.
In a sexy.
Is it the twat waffle?
It is indeed the twat waffle.
Greasy palms.
Chat just kind of skips up. Hello there again.
Look, I swear I already told you everything, our arrangement for the week. It's we've already...
Greasy bums. Greasy bums.
Alright, so look, I've got some friends here who would really like to know what has been going on, and I know you know more because you always know more. Now,
You took our money and told us jack shit.
That's very unfortunate. See, I'm on my day off, Python, and it would be a shame if I had to go back in to report another missing person, now wouldn't it? Gonna go ahead and roll intimidation, oh no. Right.
All right, look,
Who else is going missing? Who else is going?
Look, I swear I don't know anything else. Please let me down.
Alright, and he just drops him. And he... But you are going to talk to my friends here because they are in a bit of a rush and the weather's not looking too good, and I get so frustrated when my hair gets wet, you would not believe.
So it makes the sound of booming thunder.
So, Hythen, a little wide-eyed, breathing a little heavier, is now looking at, you three.
So, what do you want?
We want to know if there are any unifying factors between the people who've gone missing, and I want to know if you know anything about Kane and his family.
Well,
Go ahead and roll, an intimidation check, Katrina, with advantage because of Theodric's help.
Did I just hear a cat purring?
That's egg.
Egg is currently...
21 for that intimidation check.
Ooh, nice.
all right. Look, Kane came to me a few days ago, maybe about a month ago, saying that he really needed help getting a better job. So, I made use of my connections because he paid a reasonable sum, and so I am the one who got him that job at the docks. But I didn't know that he was going to be going missing, especially not his entire family. I had nothing to do with that, I swear.
Okay, who did you get him the job with?
It's with the...
What's that?
Well, it's not with any business. It's, the part of the docks owned by the Jamija family.
Denisha family?
Zamijia. That is Zamijia. Zamijia. Yep.
Okay, and, do you often get people work with this family?
No, not with them in particular. I know people who can facilitate jobs at a number of places. I have someone who owes me a couple of favors in the docks, so I just called in one of those favors. You know, it's a part of the business.
Alright. Do either of you Chucklefucks have any questions?
What is it color?
Artur.
Yeah, what about her?
What
Do you know
about
where she lives? Her friends are looking for her.
Artur Grain, the, one of the richest people in the city. She probably lives in the Shine Bard, I don't know.
Okay, thanks.
Do you know her?
No, not personally.
Our friends do.
Cool. Is there anything else I can do for you? Or are you gonna threaten me some more?
Just saying, opportunity for more connections if you stop being an asswipe.
Asswipe.
Listen, little lady, I conduct my business in a
Don't call
certain
me
way.
little lady. And I kind of like wall thump them.
She is stronger than both of us.
And be a little bit more respectful. Clearly, as someone who knows that people have connections, you walk with a lot more balls than it seems like you have. Just, you never know who you're going to end up talking to.
The same can be said for you. Please let me go.
I let him go.
He scurries off. Alright, well, I guess that's all we're gonna get out of him. I hope that
Don't
helped.
really know if that was 3 gold's worth the information, but...
You only gave him 3 gold. Should keep you guys around. Well, guess we should check out, of course, the Jamisia family is, that is one of the sitting houses on the council. And if they're mixed up with this, I would urge caution.
I was afraid you were going to say something like that.
But I can show you what part of the docks they own.
Thank you.
Follow me.
Oh, Patrick Warburn, I love you.
Now, dock is a specific word meaning a number of things.
It could refer to the ship.
No! Stop!
Or in the sexual act of 2 people with me. Okay, I'll stop. I can't do that.
So, it's about mid-afternoon. It's starting to get dark. You'd say it's probably the equivalent of like 4 in the afternoon now. Not quite enough, not quite, close to sunset, but you got some time. But the clouds have officially rolled in, and that storm looks like it's about to break. As you are led back to the docks, Theodric leads you past the Dragon's Flag, the Dragon's Flagon, to a part of the docks that is entirely those floating buildings that you saw, all of them swaying. The river seems to have gotten up very choppy, so you're seeing these entire buildings swaying like 20 degrees to the left, then 20 degrees to the right, and you hear things shifting, something's banging around. There's a lot of people rushing in and out of buildings to presumably tie things down for the oncoming storm, making sure that the buildings won't float away or anything like that. Some of the water is sloshing up onto the docks as you walk, but he leads you to this one, almost like a corner, the southwest corner of the docks, and he points off, and there's there is what can only amount to be called like a fence. It's basically 2 metal poles with a gate across them, and what looks like a couple of mercenaries, not paladins, but they are armed individuals, apparently standing guard. And he points it out, and you're about like 50 feet away, standing kind of nonchalantly next to some crates, and he's like, all right, through there, all those buildings are owned by House Samisia. The one, and he points down to it, and most of them are kind of skeleton buildings, not even like, open, but there is one all the way towards the end. Like they don't even have, like, some of them don't even have walls, but there is one towards the end that is just wooden slats, and all the windows are boarded up, and it's the only one that doesn't seem to be in use all the way at the end. And he points it out, and he's like, that place right there, if they have anything to hide, that'll probably be your best bet. But, all the noble houses kind of have their own muscle. Which is why the paladins probably haven't been able to do anything about this if they're involved.
Let's go
Okay,
kick
good to know.
But that's about all I can do for you all. And if you're about to do something that would amount to potentially not quite legal activity, I'm afraid I would have to not be present, or I'd have to do my job.
I've never done anything wrong in my life ever.
She is an innocent, sweet little angel.
Duh.
Oh yeah, what about you?
I'm so.
Slut is also innocent. little
He
angel.
was talking to Helga, but that's cuter.
I have not done anything illegal, but I am not quite so innocent little angel.
Helga, good.
If you know what I mean.
Sure. Tell you what, if you all aren't too tired, we can maybe continue our drink later. But I'm gonna go continue my day off, and I didn't see you here.
Thank you. We do
Not at all.
you either.
Get you all later.
Point, point.
And he saunters off.
I've done some bad things, by the way.
He gives you a thumbs up over his shoulder.
Done some treason.
And then at treason he like mimes plucking his ears and going la 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 la.
I like him. All right. Let's go do some non-legal activity, shall we?
Nah.
Let's go commit a federal crime.
Fuck the government, man. Hold on. I'm looking at something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you real
No.
quick?
Am I cute?
So cute.
Yee.
Guys, Tiffany's so cute.
Thank you.
Wow.
Got her hair pulled back in this like little cute little ponytail to keep it out of her face.
Yeah. Even though I saw things.
So
Yeah.
cute.
So
Thank
cute.
you. Okay, that's not gonna do anything. I guess I just want to kind of do like a general perception.
All right, go ahead and roll a general perception check.
10.
You see, well, okay, so with a 10, I would say you see, this, gated section of the docks. There's about 5 buildings, 4 of which, are, well, all of them are floating buildings with, the buoys attached to the sides. Sorry, one sec. The 4 of them, 1 on the left and the 3 on the right, are they have like these windows. A lot of doesn't appear to be anyone bustling in and out of these. And through the windows, it just seems like they're just empty warehouses. There is only the 5th one, which is 1 down on the left of the dock, that is completely boarded up, and there seems to be not just the two armed people guarding the gate here, but also 2 people guarding at the at that one in particular, and there's 2 more walking up and down the dock behind the gate.
Guess that's muscle then.
Cover up. Covering up. Foot turns to the Helga and Cat and makes like shh, shh, and like tiptoeing noises, but really fast.
He makes a shushing noise and very fast tiptoeing sounds. Okay.
Yee.
Cute.
And then like goes like thumbs up.
Let's ask around a little bit before we try to be sneaky.
Okay.
Well, we can be sneaky. You know, I've been kind of leading this show. Let's be sneaky.
Sneaky sucks.
I thought I had something that could like help, but I don't think I prepared that spell. Dang it.
That's the rub. That's the rub of preparing spells.
That's the rub of the situation.
That's the rub of the rub.
Yeah.
The rub of the butt.
The rub of the butt.
Don't
Rub the butt.
don't Kenku have like bonuses to don't Kenku have bonuses to stealth?
Hold on.
He can make white noise to cover up our sounds.
Honestly, I could make like
Wait a
really
minute.
heavy like rain noise.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have to because as you've been sitting here debating, the sky begins to open up.
Oh. So it wants to take cover under someone's cloak. This sucks. No. Takes cover under his own little sash.
Oh, wet bird.
It's not coming down super hard, but you can see people are
Where's our water?
people seem to be trying to finish up at least behind you on the the actual busy part of the dock. You can see people seem to be like getting ready to finish up some of the guards and actually the guards before you. Have you all been like trying to not appear like you've been like casing the place or like yeah, just chit-chatting. Okay. Sure.
Barrels.
Just leaning up against them barrels. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Smoking our crack pipes.
All of you, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. I actually don't. It's not that great. I got a nat 1.
Oh my god.
Mike, are you sure that Kenku have like special?
10.
I'm pretty sure Kenku have a bonus to stealth.
I don't like. It's not on my sheet, and I'm trying to Google it real quick. I don't think so.
Let me see. You are proficient in your choice of the 2 following skills: acrobatics, deception, stealth, and sleight of hand. Did you choose?
Oh yeah, no. I think I chose sleight of hand.
You chose sleight of hand and I assume deception or acrobatics.
I'm trying to find where that is. On my...
What do you have proficiency in? I guess.
What do you have check marked next to?
Maybe dots, I think.
It's checks.
Is
No,
it checks? No.
Yeah, sleight of hand. Damn it.
Sleight of hand and acrobatics.
16.
Soot wanted to be sneaky.
Okay, so 2 of you passed. So luckily you were able to make up for Soot. You were able to kind of like shush Soot, who was trying to make louder rain sounds. Just like no, stop, please, no.
No.
And so luckily they don't seem to have noticed you, but you do see that the 2 that are patrolling and the 2 that are guarding the building itself seem to be they come together and then they come to the gate as it's now probably around 5 and you see them come to the gate. The 2 people at the gate let them out. They all kind of chit chat for a moment and then 4 of them leave while 1 of them stays at the gate and 1 goes in and starts walking up and down the docks with their hood up, trying to not get super wet. And then as the 4 of them pass you 3 just kind of like avert your eyes, just like and they pass on. So now the night shift has begun.
Let's get in it.
Is there like any like can I do like a perception? No, not it's perception of like
How about you tell me what you're trying to do and then I'll tell you if a skill applies to that.
opening somewhere we could sneak in that wasn't really obvious to the guards.
Well, the gate is only on the dock specifically. There is the choppy water below you. And there's also the buildings all around you. So there's a number of options. Basically, you are on this dock, and on either side is a bunch of floating buildings that are tethered to the dock.
So it can't swim. No. Let's. Can we like sneak between the buildings? I don't know if I want to go underneath the thing, but I do have a high acrobatics. Can I flip from wall to wall to try to get to the roof of the
Oh
building?
my gosh.
Oh shit.
So you want to like move around to the nearest building and try to climb up it?
Yeah.
That would be an athletics check to climb up a building. Because the buildings are like, these buildings are like 30 feet apart at minimum.
Dang, okay. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think my strength is that great.
Well, do you guys have rope?
Do I have rope? Hold on.
I don't know, do ya?
I have rope. So let's climb. How's y'all's,
I do not have rope.
Oh, I do have hemp.
I have rope.
Yeah, I have hemp rope.
Hemp and rope.
Yeah.
Everyone's got hemp and rope.
We got.
Kat's kind of just like rubbing her eyes. Are we really gonna try and climb a building in the rain when we don't have a direct objective?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't listen to Helga, she's drunk.
So it puts down his rope. He was so excited. It's like, no. Cat's right.
Yeah, Helga, make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I didn't do that earlier.
The DC's lower because it's been a couple hours.
Seven.
You're coming down, but you were drunk.
Really fair.
Yeah.
Can I tell that
Had
he's...
three. What did Cat order?
Gelderbrill malt whiskey.
What? Helga had three of whatever Cat had.
Shit. Oh my god. Wait, could I tell that the paladins are of Justine?
You could tell that from their garb that they are not paladins of Justine. They're all wearing dark green robes, very very dark green, and now they look black because they're all wet. Seem to be wearing leather armor underneath, and they all seem to be wearing scimitars at their sides. But they're not paladins, as far as you know.
Oh, okay. Gotta backspace that info.
Okay.
Dark green.
So people have left basically.
Yeah, people have left. It seems like they have more people guarding during the day, and now it's, at night. You see the one who was like, the rain has started to pour down even heavier. The one standing at the gate is kind of like just hunched over, kind of just staring at the ground like 10 feet ahead. The one who was walking back and forth on the thing is now standing at the doors of the one boarded up building, kind of like trying to get under the awning so that the rain isn't hitting them. It's not really working very well. The whole building is swaying to all of the buildings too are like swaying like 45 degrees to one side, 45 degrees to the other side. It's the river's pretty choppy.
We should we should either find a way inside or I don't know.
This is what I love about D&D, presenting a thing and just letting you guys figure it out.
Slip could pretend. Call Sanctuary? Do they seem nice enough to let me... Hold on, let me look at my deception roll. Yeah, no, let's not do that.
Well, come on, guys. What do you want to do? What does your characters want to do? Impulse.
Who wants to go in the building?
All right, Soot wants to check out that building.
Rain, there's less people. I feel like he's convinced that, like, they gotta go in there.
So, this cluster of buildings belongs to that family?
Yeah. Supposedly.
Are the buildings beside the one that's guarded also guarded? Or is it only this one building?
Just the one.
Let's go into the not guarded buildings.
Yeah.
It's all behind this gate that's been set up on the dock.
Gotcha.
Throw Soot, and he can drop some. If we do it well enough, maybe he can drop some rope so we can go into the other buildings over the gate. Just throw him over the gate.
I don't want to throw the bird.
Throw the bird. Soot's like jumping up and down, holding the rope and pointing at the gate, like throw the bird.
Don't throw a baby. No one's gonna throw you, Soot. I'm sorry.
Can Soot throw himself?
My God.
Mike, would this be acrobatics?
You being thrown? No, it would be someone else throwing you, so it would be them doing a strength check.
Okay, but maybe like Soot climbing over the gate to put a rope for the others.
There's a guard at the gate.
Ah, dang it. Is there a part of the gate that we can sneak?
Okay, so let me paint this. Let me try to paint a word picture for you because I feel like I haven't done it good enough yet. So you're standing on a dock. You all know what a dock looks like, right?
Dock is another word for a place for birds. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a dock, and it's like it's got multiple branching pathways because that's how this whole district is basically. It's all suspended over part of the river. And two of the basically part of the supports of the dock have been extended upwards, and between them is a metal gate. And in front of that gate is a guard. But on either side, it's just straight down into water, and then like maybe 5 feet to the side is a bunch of floating buildings that are like they have like gangplanks so that you can cross over onto one of those things. But they're all like tied to the dock. And then beyond that gate is those 5 buildings.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't quite catch that, you know.
Yeah, I thought the dock was like an open space with the gate just specifically in front of the building.
No, it's like, here's the dock. It like branches off and stuff. You're like right here. And then there's like buildings. And then there's like the gate. And then there's more dock. And then there's the buildings.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the logistics of trying to sneakily scale a gate during a storm on a not stable platform.
Throw the bird. Okay, so we have these 2 buildings. It's pretty far. And you said there were boats, like, tied to the dock between the buildings, or no?
There's no boats that you see, but the buildings, there's like gangplanks attaching the buildings to the whatchamacallit.
Okay.
To the dock.
Let's just go to the closest building if we can.
Okay.
Closest building to the gate.
You do realize you're still 60 feet away, and while the rain is coming down, and it is only lightly obscuring you. So if you're gonna start climbing a building, that guard is gonna be like seeing you. You're gonna have to like go back around.
Like actually climb the building. I thought like, so we can't just go in. Can I call sanctuary?
This isn't Notre Dame. It is a privately owned part of a dock.
I'm just convinced he can go wherever he wants.
Sure. I mean, if Soot is convinced of that, then Soot should do it.
Yeah, Soot just wants to go to the building and go inside.
Okay, so you walk up to the guard?
No, one of the like unguarded buildings, not the one of the gate, just like the closest building to the gate. And we can pick
Okay,
it up from
the closest building to the gate is one that's right next to you. The gangplank has been removed, but about 5 feet of open space, and then there's a pretty heavily swaying building that you don't know what's inside because there were some people who ran in to tie some stuff down and they've already left. So there's a building to your left that appears to be abandoned.
Kat, what do you think? We should just go in? Kit went to go deal with poop matters. So they're not here right now.
See, you could have gone.
What?
You could have gone. See?
I did go.
Oh.
I've already ran to the bathroom once during all this.
Well done. I'm so proud of you.
Stealth, man. I didn't even realize.
I don't know. My brain is tired. I'm trying to think of like, I don't want to go and poke my nose and things and be very obvious, but also I don't want to be trying to climb a gate and clear view. And I don't want to wait because I don't want to have wasted a day.
I mean, like, technically it's only the one guard, so if we do get caught, maybe we could just knock him out.
Yeah, but we're kind of recognizable, and our contact is a paladin, and I just don't think that's a smart idea. Like, hey, dude, I got knocked out by a bird, a barbarian, and a foreign child in armor.
Very recognized, actually, yeah. Well, if we can't really do any other investigating, and then it's getting heavier. The buildings. No.
I feel like we should scope out the area and see what the kind of layout is and make a plan for another day.
Okay. Yeah, so
I know you want to climb a building.
I mean, I don't want Soot to drown, so let's
I feel like I've been the practical Debbie Downer, like going, oh, this is not a smart idea.
No, you're being smart because I'm kind of wanting to be gung-ho, but I'm looking at my stats and really should not be doing any of what I'm thinking. I guess, like, just make another look around. Maybe we could just, like, plan for a next day. Plan for another day of how we can get in? Or what we can use to investigate?
Yeah, make plans for another day. I am going to kind of walk closer. People aren't coming in and out of this area, yes?
No, the dock ends at that 5th building. It just ends. Like, this is a very private area. So, like, there's the gate, and then the dock keeps going, and then the dock ends. It's not like this is in the middle of the district. It's like you're on the river. If you, like, look between the buildings on your left, you're, like, on the river.
And then it's, like... And it's these specific 5 buildings that are blocked off from the general public.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you approach a little closer, Katrina?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to the guard.
Sure.
Hey, mate.
Oh, there.
Places are starting to close up a bit for the storm. Do you, know if there's anywhere we can kind of hunker down and wait for it to pass, or...
I'm coming up with a voice. Sorry. Look, this is a private area. I'm afraid you are probably best if you go away and never come back. Katrina, could you make a charisma saving throw?
Ah. Uh, 14.
Okay. Let me just, shit. Sorry. I didn't think you were actually just gonna go up and talk to them. So shit. Alright, improvising here. Woo! You got a 14?
Yes.
You feel this weird wriggling suggestiveness of his words kind of reach into your mind, but you kind of shake your head off. And yeah, because you succeeded, you Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say charisma? I meant wisdom saving throw. You can keep that roll and use your wisdom modifier if you desire. But it's a wisdom saving throw. I misread. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that would make it a 15 then.
All right, yeah. You still succeed. Because that's higher. Yeah, you would know that this was a magical influence. Or not necessarily magical, but you felt he was trying to manipulate you in a way that people normally can't.
I am going to abruptly turn and leave and, like, drag Helga and Soot with me.
Bye-bye.
Like, as if I'm being compelled.
Huh?
Wait, we're not actually like leaving though yet, right? Because I wanted to check out that building.
Nope, we're leaving.
No, okay, real quick, I want to do like an insight check on the building the people were trying to tie down. The one that's not out, the one outside the gate.
You feel, yeah, actually, Katrina, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Did I not? I thought I made the save.
You did?
That's a 17 for the Constitution save.
All right. And if I'm not mistaken, I am not mistaken. Yeah. You feel this strange burning on the back of your neck as this puff of poisonous cloud comes towards you, and a quiet "damn it" as you start walking away. You hear and the sound of running footsteps towards you. Are you still booking it?
Yeah, we're definitely booking it now.
Okay, as you
Damn.
as you run towards there's like this T intersection behind you. You go to turn left, and the four people that you saw leave are heading back towards you. And they stop about 30 feet away.
Okay, is there another way to just exit?
Two of them step forward and call out to you, Helga and Soot. Your friend here is making some serious mistakes. You should probably just put down your weapons. I need the two of you to make...
I'm just trying to get out of here.
I think the two of you need to make wisdom saving throws.
Okay. 15.
Mm-hmm.
Not 20.
Nice.
Well, shit. Yeah, so, you feel this, again, you two feel this strange, beguiling influence, pressing in on your minds, and then you shake it off, with ease. And the two that had kind of spoken to each of you, kind of look at the rest of them, and they all draw their scimitars. I'm gonna need everyone to roll initiative.
Before that, I want to cast Sanctuary on... Well, I guess it only says a creature, so I'm going to do cat, I guess.
Okay, so as you cast Sanctuary and they draw their weapons, in the pouring rain, these guards charging towards you, and 2 more charging up from behind. We're gonna end the episode there.
Ooh, nice. Remember, Kat, you have Sanctuary.
What does Sanctuary do?
Sanctuary is, let's see. Let me read it out loud. A Sanctuary, you ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Is that concentration?
I don't think so, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It just says 1... Yeah, a creature within range, and it's 1 bonus action, so... You just get... Oh, it lasts for a minute, though, so... Yeah.
I mean, that's if you in battle.
Yeah, so that works out. So, you got that now. Yep.
Thank.
Sure.
It's a bonus action, and it is not concentration. Shit. It's a kick-ass spell.
It's a good spell.
Thank.
Yeah, mark down that you have that. Mark down that you've used that spell slot, and we're going to end the episode there on that little cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Nice.
friends.
I'm gonna try and find some rain music.
It's like rain.
That was like very abrupt. I just asked if there was a place to get out of the rain, and then we're being attacked.
Yeah, right? Like, that's so freaking rude.
Yeah.
What's your problem, man?
We should kill them.
We're gonna.
You want me to kill that guy for you? 'Cause he sounds like a dragon. I'll totally kill that guy for you.
It's just fucking... We should have stabbed him, Carly.
Trying to freaking magic me.
Alright, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
I've been dead.
Sarah has been kind of like out of it for the past 20 minutes. Essentially what happened, we were trying to figure out how to get through the gate, and Kat just walked up to the guard and said, like, do you know where we can chill out? And then
they're like,
bum rushed us. Which is rude! It's very, very rude.
you know what else is rude? My cat not burying her poops.
Yeah, it's stinky.
All right, y'all. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, that's not our outro. Wow, I did the wrong outro. Go me. So thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to check out our Patreon, where you can support this show and everything that we try to do here. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you can get all of our notifications about when we go live. We have a Discord, sort of. It's my Discord, but like I always put whenever we're live on there, so you would know then. Check out our podcast. You can get it anywhere podcasts can be found. And hopefully we're gonna see what happens next in the rain, with all of this sudden stuff happening, and the mystery of missing people, and
Theories.
come up with as many conspiracy theories as you can. But yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Just stay safe, be good to everyone, share some love, and tell a story.
Nah.
Be gay, do crimes.
Be gay,
do crimes.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.